Welcome back to Sacred Web Connections. I'm your host, Dara Bracamonte. Much love and light to you all. Welcome back to Sacred Web Connections. I'm your host, Dara Bracamonte. Much love and light to you all. Are you an empath? Well, how would you know if you're an empath? Well, first of all, if you're here, drawn to this podcast, chances are you're an empath, or you know somebody that is. An empath is somebody who is highly aware of other people's emotions, and some can even take on and carry others' emotions as well, which really sucks, let me tell you. Empaths tend to feel others' emotions physically, emotionally, and or mentally. Most empaths aren't even aware that they have these gifts, which can make you feel like you're going fucking crazy. What is going on with me? Why am I feeling this way? I have no reason to be mad. I have no reason to be sad. Why am I crying? Either you are crazy, which we're all a little bit crazy, right? Or, as we call it in my community, you're awakening. There's actually a great book by a local author in Las Vegas. Her name is Edwige. She's a doctor. But her book is actually quite fascinating, and it's great for people who are opening up to their gifts. It's called You're Not Crazy, You're Awakening. Let's start with our quote of the day. It's a long one, but man, it's good. Highly sensitive people are too often perceived as weaklings or damaged goods. To feel intensely is not a symptom of weakness. It is the trademark of the truly alive and compassionate. It's not the empath who is broken. It is society that has become dysfunctional and emotionally disabled. There is no shame in expressing your authentic feelings. Those who are at times described as being a hot mess or having too many issues are the very fabric of what keeps the dream alive for a more caring, humane world. Never be ashamed to let your tears shine a light in this world. That quote is by Anton St. Martin. What an amazing way to express that you're not crazy. We're not the problem. People should be more empathic or sensitive to other people's feelings. Well said, Anton. Well said. Being empathic and sympathetic are two different things. Being sympathetic means you understand how somebody might feel. You feel bad or happy for somebody, and you can offer compassion for what you can imagine somebody might be going through. Being empathic means you can actually sense or feel what somebody else is feeling. So how do you know if you're an empath? Here are some signs. You tend to feel how somebody else is feeling or thinking. It can be in person or even remotely without them even telling or showing you how they feel. You tend to get overwhelmed in crowds. It's almost as if you feel too much. It's too much energy, too many thoughts, and definitely too many emotions. Later I'll talk about how you can protect yourself in crowds, which makes them bearable. You get random bouts of emotions like anger, sadness, depression, or even anxiety. It seems these are such extreme emotions that they can be felt much more easily than others, unfortunately. If you're an empath picking up on somebody else's shit, it's typically random. Like you'll find there are no other reasons for you to feel these emotions, no reason that you should feel angry or sad. For example, if you get in an argument with your partner, an hour later, you think you're over it, but you find yourself still angry. This is more than likely not an empathic moment. It's just your own thoughts causing your emotions, which is normal. That's how it works. However, if you all of a sudden feel angry and have absolutely nothing to be angry about, you're not thinking about anything that pisses you off, you're not thinking back to a memory of something or conversations that were had of things that you should have said, if there's no reason for you to feel angry, chances are you're picking up on somebody else's anger and you're taking it on as your own. And it's really hard when you can't discern between your own and somebody else's. Then you really do feel like you're going crazy. The power comes with the discernment between your feelings and other people's feelings. Another sign is you randomly feel pain, and it's not a pain in your body that you normally have, and you have no reason to feel that pain in that area. Chances are it's somebody else's. Or you're very picky about the people you surround yourself with and the places you like to visit often, including your own home. If you're a sensitive empath, it sometimes means you can only surround yourself with people that hold positive energy the majority of the time. If a place doesn't feel right, you tend to just stay away. You feel drained when you hang out with negative people. Some people are known as energy vampires. They track people with bright lights and they latch on and they start pulling energy from that person, sucking the life out of them. Most of the time, these energy vampires have no idea what they're doing. It's totally subconscious. For empaths, though, if you feel drained every time you hang out with someone, they're pulling your energy. You are somebody people go to regularly for advice. You can feel the emotions of people in a TV show, movie, or even commercial. There are some people that can cry when seeing other people cry. That doesn't necessarily mean you're an empath. You could just be sensitive. Empaths usually pick up on the emotions the actors have to draw upon to cry. Typically, actors have to find their own sad moments to be able to cry on demand, and empaths can pick up on the energy of those memories, not necessarily the visible cue of someone crying. Large events such as hurricanes, tornadoes, presidential elections, and or terrorist acts can hit you harder than most. You may be picking up on the pain and loss from those involved, which can feel absolutely incapacitating. You can pick up on other people's physical ailments as well, whether it's pain or illness. And don't be afraid to ask either. I do it all the time. And yes, some people look at me like I'm fucking crazy. But sometimes they look at me like, how the hell did you know? And I feel validated. You get just as upset as your partner when they're upset about something that wouldn't normally affect another person. You're a natural lie detector. When someone else lies, whether to you or someone else, you tend to know they're full of shit and they're actually telling a lie. You don't know how you know necessarily, you just know that it's bullshit. You know within seconds of meeting somebody if you like them or not. Sure, some people can prejudge by looks. Most of us do in some way or another. However, an empath can pick up on somebody's energy in person, over the phone, through a TV, etc. So even if you're not seeing somebody, you can still know immediately, or feel or sense immediately, whether you like their energy or not. And don't feel bad about that. Use it to your advantage. If you don't feel good about somebody, they shouldn't be in your life. You may feel drawn to help when other people are hurting, or you might have a savior complex. Some empaths can also kind of read minds, not in the woo-woo sense, but empaths can pick up on the energy of another person's thoughts. They can feel the emotion associated with that thought. They may ask their partner what's wrong. Their partner says, oh, nothing, like us women tend to do, and actually be convincing, but the empath will know, sense, or feel that there's something they're not saying. If you connect with several of these signs, you're an empath. Being an empath can feel like a blessing and or a curse, but really it's just a tool. This gift can be extremely useful depending on your career path. However, you can also learn to control it to better serve your needs as well. Here are some things you can do to help. Whenever you feel a strong emotion, pain, or anything out of the ordinary, ask yourself, is this me and mine? Or is this someone or something else's? Or is this something happening in the world? If you answer yes to is this me and mine, it means you have your own emotions to work through. That may be a totally different episode. If you answer yes to is this someone or something else or something happening in the world, that's your sign that you're empathically picking up on someone or something else. At that point, you can take some actions. First, it's important you set boundaries with people, spirit, and energy. If you believe in angels and or spirit guides, which I do, they definitely make up your own spirit posse or spirit team. You can ask them, either through prayer or just a conversation, to help you release all thoughts and feelings that don't belong to you. If you want to block the gift altogether, you can also talk to or pray to your spirit posse and ask that they no longer allow other people's thoughts and emotions to enter your energy field at all. But just so you know, no matter how much you ask or which way you say it, if you're meant to be an empath based on your life purpose this go-around, sorry, Charlie, but you're stuck with it, and the better option is to learn how to work with your gifts. Another thing you can do, which is really, really powerful, is cut the spiritual cords on a daily basis. When we connect to another person or a group of people, it could be we're walking down the street, we're walking in a mall, and we're sort of making eye contact with people, or even just passing somebody at work. We have a silver cord that comes out of our solar plexus chakra energy center, and the cord attaches to that person or group. By the end of the day, we've collected hundreds, if not more, of cords from our solar plexus to other people. And now we have the potential of feeling the emotions of all of those people. So I highly recommend at the end of the day, every single day, to cut the energy cords. Now you can do it physically or you can do it with your imagination. Either way, you're basically using your intentions to cut the cords. I do both. At the end of the day, close your eyes and imagine all the cords coming out of your solar plexus in all different directions. Imagine taking a pair of scissors, big motherfucking scissors, a knife, or even an axe, chainsaw, or machete, depending on how much of a badass you think you are, and then cutting the cords right at your belly. The solar plexus is almost halfway between the center of your chest and your belly button. Or if you like to do things more in a physical fashion, you can take your hand down in a chopping motion from your head past your solar plexus 3 times, cutting the cords. I also say the words in my head. I cut the cords to and from everyone and everything. Also, don't worry, you're not destroying cords that you want to keep, like those cords connected to your loved ones. Those cords are much deeper rooted, usually in your heart or crown chakras. You are only cutting the temporary cords. So if a cord is needed for your soul's growth, it's going to remain no matter what. Once the cords are cut, you'll know. You will feel the difference. Now, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're doing it right. The universe and energy responds to your intentions. If you're intending to cut the cords to and from everyone and everything, it will be done, no matter how you do it. Don't get caught up in the how. It's more important that you focus on your intention. Tune in to the next podcast to finish up with part 2 of Are You an Empath?